Hello there. It is November 30th, 2019, 7:57 in the evening. It's a Saturday, and I'm tired. First, as we always do, a little bit of a progress report. We got a bit stuck this week. Definition of writer's block is when your imaginary friends stop talking to you. My imaginary friends stopped talking to me, at least some of them. I got a little stuck on both My Soul to Keep and The Fast Fading Light. I'm sitting there, it's like I know what comes next, it just doesn't want to come out. So what I'm doing is I'm moving on to another work in progress called In Thine Own Image, which is another EGS story focusing on Harmony and Melody Moore, my identical twin sisters, and their partner / lover Wesley Jensen. And I'll get more into that as I get farther into it. I'm still in the first chapter of it, so hopefully I'll be making some good progress on that, because I know generally where I want to go. I just have to create another culture. And I've also started to look into actually getting a webcam instead of doing it on my phone like I have been doing. Not that I mind doing it on my phone. It's just I want to try and make this a little bit better quality. And so we're looking into that. The problem is, while I did think I found a couple of relatively inexpensive webcams, I couldn't find one that definitely says, yes, I work with Windows 10. I found one on Amazon that said, yeah, it works with Windows 7 and 8. And then I looked in the comments and people asked, does this work with Windows 10? Some people said, yes, it works with Windows 10. Some people said, no, it doesn't work with Windows 10. Some people said, yeah, it does, but you have to do this. It's like, yes or no, does it work with Windows 10? So I'm still researching cameras. But that's for the future. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to talk to today, so I figured I'd talk about one of the books, one of the newer ones, actually, that I don't think I've gone into in too much detail yet. Stranger, which is the newest book. It's an EGS story set in the year 2191. It involves agents from Division 2, the branch of EarthGov security that works here on Earth and within the home system, our solar system. It concerns a probationary agent, on her first assignment with D2, Probationary Agent Denise Bell. Now, the interesting thing about Denise Bell is she's an enhanced human. What's so important about that? She's the first enhanced human in Division 2. Now, there are enhanced humans in other branches of EarthGov security, mostly in Division 5, which we know from Carly and the others. There's also a rumor that says enhanced humans are in Division 4, but Division 4 is so secretive, as we find out also in Stranger. More on that in a minute. Division 4 holds their secrets very close. There's a long-standing rumor that says when you're talking to a D4 agent, there's a very good chance you're not getting their real name. Maybe. So anyway, and what Denise has to do, one of her batch sisters has contacted her and saying that, okay, she stumbled onto something, and she needs Denise's help to get it straightened out. And Denise is sent on an undercover assignment to infiltrate a camp of terrorists, essentially. Rogue enhanced humans who all enhanced humans want to change the system. They want their people to be freed and given all the opportunities that a normal human has. But they're treated as less than second-class citizens. So the rogues, the criminals, are terrorists, essentially. They're trying to overthrow the government. They're not going to be happy until EarthGov is gone. And Denise and them are trying to stop that. And what I tried to do also with Denise is show an enhanced human who might not be completely on board with things as they are. She says that she wants to change from within, like all the enhanced humans working for EarthGov security. But she can also see their point of view, the other side's point of view. And she's kind of conflicted about it, and she keeps going back, and she's kind of upset about it. She ultimately decides, okay, I have to do what's right. And she carries out her assignment, which is to infiltrate this camp of enhanced humans and essentially stop them. And if it shouldn't be obvious, there's some spoilers about to head your way. Sorry. It turns out that her and her batch sister is living a life that she knew nothing about. Because I wanted her to be almost constantly off balance. A little bit, things are coming at her that she doesn't expect. She's not 100% certain how to deal with them, or they're not quite what she expects. There's a point where our main bad guy, Louis DuPont, is addressing a group of new recruits, essentially, and he asks her to come over and speak to them and answer their questions. And one of them is, why do enhanced humans have a radioactive mineral bonded to the bones of their right hand? And her reaction is, seriously, you don't know that? I knew that when I was still in the crush. You don't know that? And there's a brief review of the history of enhanced humans. Basically, in 2170, when the enhanced human program started, 2170? Yeah, about that. The first enhanced humans, the alpha body types, they looked like bodybuilders, male and female, big, bulky, and bald. And as Denise says, isn't that an attractive sight? Then there were the betas, who were more streamlined, looked more like your average person. And at that point, somebody said, whoa. How are we going to tell them from normal humans? Because the alphas stood out like a sore thumb, the betas didn't. The betas, you could mistake an ordinary person, a normal human, for an enhanced human, which to some people at that time is horrible. So that's when they started bonding beryllium to the bones of their right hand. And then came the gammas, which is Carly's current, which is what Carly is supposedly. More on that in a different video. The gammas you look at a gamma, you can't tell them from a normal human. So the beryllium is needed more than ever, as far as some are concerned. And what I was trying to do is trying to show someone who is in a position where has a job to do, and she does it, but she's not fully on board with doing it. And I wanted to show her experiencing some consequences. There's a scene where 2 people are killed, and DuPont, the leader of the terrorists, essentially says it's her fault that they're killed because some things happen that lead these 2 to the terrorist camp. And he basically says, well, it's your fault they're dead. And she has a bit of a breakdown. And that's how it goes. I think it's one of the longer single stories. 20, how many words is it? It's just shy of 30,000 words all told. And I like the dynamic also between Denise and her partner. Now, her partner's interesting because when I first started writing Stranger, Denise was always Denise. But when I first started writing it, her partner was not Special Agent Nicola Baldwin. Her partner was Special Agent Martin Baldwin. And I came to a realization with all of my EGS agents and their partners, it was always a man and a woman. Carly and Murphy, Wesley and the twins, Leah Buchanan and Brian Stiles, reaching forward into the future, Kevin Martin and Rachel Mercer from Ray, even farther into the future, Len Sillo and Vincent DeBerg from The Fault Lies Not. And I realized I've fallen into that pattern of always having a man and a woman. And I figured, okay, let me change it. It would be easier because I really hadn't shown at that point. I hadn't actually had a scene that focused on Nicola yet. So I was able to just easily tweak the one actual scene that she appeared in, rewrite it from Martin to Nicola, and everything kind of flowed a little bit better after that. I had Denise begin to develop almost a mother feeling like treating Nicola almost like a mother. As she says, being enhanced, she doesn't have a mother, but she always pictured if she ever did, she always pictured one being like Nicola. And that's also where we find out that Nicola also suffered a terrible tragedy some years earlier. Still kind of haunts her, not actually haunts her, but it's still with her. But if you say the wrong thing, it's going to, it will register with her. And that's all in making characters human, because you want your characters to be strong and interesting, but you also want them to be human. So along with their strengths, you have to have weaknesses. Along with their positives, you do have to have negatives. Denise, for example, as good an agent as she is, she has a short temper. Spoiler, at the end of the assignment, she almost beats DuPont to death because she loses her temper and she gets a bit out of control. And this is where I also go a little bit farther into something called overdrive. When my enhanced humans start to really move, once they've gone beyond the point where they're not consciously acting, they're just running strictly on instinct, and they're moving so fast that they stop seeing light, they stop seeing the world as a smoothly flowing image. They start seeing it as almost like a frame of a movie, one frame at a time. And it's like, dum, 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 dum. It's called overdrive. And they're running strictly on adrenaline, if you will. And that's when Denise gets a little bit out of control. But she recovers, and we end on a positive note. And I really ended up liking Denise a whole lot. I think Denise and Nicola are a good partnership. I do have at least one sequel planned for it. It's called, I'll give you the title as of right now. It's called The Hour of the Wolf. It takes place a little bit more than a year later, so 2192, after Denise has finished her probationary year, and she has reached the level of special agent. But we will find out over the course of the story that she still has some issues. So that's it. It's, like I said, Stranger is the title. It is the newest book. It was released at the same time as Raven, but Raven came first. It was Raven, then Stranger. And I may do Raven next week. I'll have to see how I feel. Next week I might come up with another topic to talk about. We'll see. Like I said, with Thanksgiving this past Thursday and work schedule being completely screwed up because of it, and not just generally not sleeping. Yeah, it's like sleep. That's something other people do. But hopefully things will settle down. Will settle down soon, and I'll actually be able to get some rest, and I'll get back to drafting with some consistency again, and we'll get back on track. So that's it for now. Just a little overview of Stranger. Links to it plus all the other books are down below there. Available in print on demand from Amazon, ebooks from Amazon and Smashwords, and a lot of other places. Find the listing. Find the links on my on the books tab on my website, also listed down below. If you do buy a book, please make sure you go back and leave a review, good, bad, or indifferent. Also, you can find my social media down there. Ask me anything you want. I really should add Reddit to that because I'm on there now. Yeah, that's it for this week. And remember, we are, each of us, the heroes of our own stories and the villains of someone else's. See you next week, guys. Bye.